Hey, welcome. It's funny how sometimes the simplest phrases can hold the biggest ideas. Today, we're going to dive into a really cool one that pops up in both Indonesian and English, the vacant lot. Yeah, on the surface, it's just a patch of empty land. But as you're about to see, it's so much more. It's this powerful metaphor for potential and the chance to create something totally new. Seriously, just take a second and picture one in your mind. You know the one I'm talking about. Maybe it's that empty plot in your neighborhood, kind of overgrown with weeds, or just that dusty space between two buildings. It's a super familiar sight, right? Well, that simple, everyday image, that's our key to unlocking this whole idea. So let's start with the basics. Literally, a vacant lot is exactly what you just pictured. In English, that's what we call it, and in Indonesian, it's tanah kosong. Same idea. It's just an empty piece of land with no buildings, no real job to do. Simple enough, right? Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. Because the moment we stop talking about actual physical land and start using this phrase as an idiom, well, the meaning just explodes. It's not just about an empty space anymore. And what's so cool is just how flexible this idiom is. I mean, on one level, it can totally mean a messy, neglected space. Like a garden that's just been left to go wild. Or it could be any unused area, like that empty corner in your room that's just there. But it goes so much deeper. It can describe a state of mind, like when you're trying to brainstorm and your mind just feels like a vacant lot, totally empty of ideas. And maybe the most powerful meaning, it can describe that feeling of not having a purpose or direction in life, like you're standing in an open field with no idea which way to go. All right, the best way to really get a feel for an idiom is to see how people actually use it. So let's check out a couple of real-world examples. Okay, here's a perfect side-by-side example. In Indonesian, you've got kami berencana mengubah tanah kosong itu menjadi taman communities. And the English is right there. We plan to turn that vacant lot into a community park. See, in this case, they're both using it in that very literal sense, talking about a piece of property. And here's another one you might hear in Indonesian. Anak-anak sering bermain bola di tanah kosong dekat rumah kami. That just means the children often play soccer on the vacant lot near our house. So again, both of these examples are about a real, physical, empty place. But if we stop here, we miss the best part. Right. Because if we only think of a vacant lot as something empty or messy, we are missing the most powerful, most inspiring part of this whole idea. There's this other layer of meaning hiding just under the surface. And here it is. This is the beautiful twist. A vacant lot isn't just empty, it's actually full of potential. It's a blank canvas. This is the real soul of the idiom. It's telling us that any space, or any idea, or even any situation that feels empty right now, well, it's really just waiting to be developed, to be transformed, and to be filled with something new and amazing. You can almost think of it like a journey. It all starts with that simple feeling of emptiness. But that emptiness, it's not the end of the story. It's really just a sign of untapped potential, something that's there but hasn't been realized yet. And that potential, well, that's what turns it into an opportunity. It's an open invitation to build something, to create, to fill that void with purpose. And when you think about it that way, this whole idiom becomes a really powerful question to ask yourself. What's the vacant lot in your life right now? Is it a project you haven't started? A skill you haven't developed? Is there some part of your life that feels a little empty, but is actually just waiting for you to build something new on it? So next time you see an actual vacant lot, or maybe you feel like you have one in your own life, try to remember that it's not just a sign of what's missing. It's an invitation, it's an opportunity just waiting for you to get started. Thanks so much for watching.